Hello and welcome back to BERNAMA today. Jared Ratnam taking over from Jess Jahal with our feature interview this morning. We're talking about a movie. It's a short film. It's called Patthiyaa. It's a Tamil movie and it's a short film which was made recently. We're going to play you the trailer and come back and speak to the producer of the movie who's joining us in the studio right here on BERNAMA today. Let's take a look at the short film. Very interesting indeed. It's about 20 to 25 minutes long. Short films are apparently the thing these days, and like I said before, we're joined by Agilan Subramaniam. He's the director of the movie, or the producer of the movie. Agilan, thank you very much for joining us on the show. It's great to have you here now. It's a new thing for the Tamil movie scene, short movies. Yeah. We're moving into stronger narratives. If it's comedy, it's a dark humor. There's different kinds of humor that we're moving into now. Yeah. What brought about the idea to do this, or the inspiration to do a short movie in Malaysia, knowing full well that making the money back is tough?
Yeah, first of all, we do it for the patient first. Since my age of 18, I like to write a lot, like stories and everything.
How many stories have you written so far?
Like around 20 of them. 20 of them. And
close to 20?
Yes, and I just published that in newspapers like Nation and so on. And then in 4 years back, I got an idea, want to make a short film with whatever stories that I have. And then, but I don't have a proper crew to make it until I met Mr. Ravindran, who is the director of this movie. Okay. And then from there, the journey has been started. Even though, as you said, to making back the money is a bit difficult, but for everything we need a start.
So you met Ravindran not very long ago, and this happened very recently.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so this also had something to do with the movie Maravan.
Yeah.
What's the connection between what you guys are doing and the movie Maravan?
Okay, as I said, I got an idea to make a short film, but I don't have a proper crew. So by the time when I meet Mr. Ravindran, by the time he is working as an assistant
Ravindran was the
director of Patthiyaa, but he have been worked together with Mr. S.D. Ponendran, the director of Maravan. So Ravin is joining him as an assistant director, as well as my another assistant director of Patthiyaa, who called Humesh. They two are working together with Mr. Ponendran and get all the knowledges and skill. Right. So from there, I get to know that this guy is capable to do something, and when I meet him, I directly propose that I have an idea to make a short film. Right. And we start.
So you started with the project. Now, starting the project is one thing. Getting the proper team, or getting a good team together. And when I say a good team, I also talk about the cast. Now, where do you acquire all these talents from? Did you have an audition?
Yes, of course. We just conduct an audition around Seremban, but the main thing is like the editor, the cameraman, and everyone have been selected by Mr. Ravindran. Right. But for the cast, so-called the actor, actress, and the supporting actors, we have been conduct an audition, and from there we just select.
So there was an audition in Seremban, and no one told me about this. It's very painful, but never mind. We'll just move on and talk about the movie now. This movie is based on comedy. Yes. Now, what about this comedy, which is going to be different, which is going to be an introduction about you into the movie industry?
Okay. To say different is usually, if a comedy movie, what we call the dialogues, the punch have to be really, really attractive.
Right, you need to set up the joke, and the punchlines have to be good,
of course.
and the people delivering the punchlines and setting up the jokes also have to know what they're doing.
Exactly, exactly. So in that we have more emphasis and come up with some so-called some attractive lines that really I feel like we have received a lot of comments, good comments, and people is like it actually.
Right. No, see, the thing is, when you come up with a product of some sort, and if you ask your friends, they'll say, hey, it's great, it's great. No one wants to hurt you and say it's horrible. But have you had some good critiques or people in the industry looking at it and saying, look guys, you should have done this, you can do this the next time? Did you get stuff like that?
Yes, exactly, because for Patthiyaa we treat this as an experiment.
Right.
So that's why even though some of the what we call the established artists or people in the industry, they have come up with some idea, like they say the lighting works need to be improved a lot.
Right.
I really agree with that. That's why I mentioned it as an experiment. So that's why we need to get ourselves ready to take some bigger project in future.
Right.
To come up with something more attractive.
Right. So going back to your crew, now the cast, talk to us about the actors and actresses in the movie.
Okay. So the story will be go around with two boys, which plays the important characters. One is Karna and the other one is Krishna. So the Karna will
Who's
be...
this fella?
Okay, this is Karna. This guy is called Karna. He is a bit innocent guy.
Right.
So he is always have been taking what we call taking advantage by Krishna over him. That is the whole
so
story.
Krishna's always been taking advantage of.
Yes.
Yeah, this very innocent soul. So and how does the comedy come in?
The comedy coming in means I just need to explain a bit of the storyline, because this guy is a dream of a girl.
Right. Okay.
In sudden, and Krishna is so-called, he convinced him that he might meet the girl.
Right.
So he will bring him around, ask him to spend for him. So that's how he make use of karma.
He made use of him, kind of pranked him and made use of him at the same time. But in the end, all ends well. He leaves with the girl. So now there's also songs in this movie.
Yes.
Who's in charge of coming up with the music and writing the score?
For this, I definitely need to thank Mr. Boyraj. He's the composer. He's doing the BGM as well as the music for the one single track.
Right.
And as well as Mr. Saresh D7, who have sing the song titled we called Abaladi Patthiyaa.
Right.
Yes.
Now, so you also have had promotional activities on Twits FM. I've never heard of Twits FM.
Twits FM we come to know by a friend of mine. So from there we approached them.
Right.
So of course this kind of industry we need some promotion, because as long as we are newcomer as well. So from there we approached them, and we have making some agreement, and yes, of course.
So Twits FM is like what, free to air radio?
Like more to online.
Online radio.
Online.
Then what's Shah's Dynamic? Shah's Dynamic, for promotional activities.
Yes,
You've also appeared on Shah's Dynamic.
Yes,
right.
Of course.
And are you doing the other rounds in all the more what do you call it? Famous Tamil radio stations in Malaysia, Minal, and then you have
no. But the song have been sent for THR, but it's not go on air yet.
Right.
Yeah, but for let's say the online radio channel, we have gonna communicate with the Sub FM. Yes, they have also.
Are you having problems with getting the songs on the air? Because this has always happened from 15-20 years ago in radio. When it comes to vernacular languages like Tamil songs and Chinese songs, it is always a problem when it comes to airing, especially when it's Malaysians writing these songs. I don't know why. I don't know if it's still a problem. I hope if it's still a problem, someone sorts that out as soon as possible, because in my time in radio I've seen this happen, and a lot of Malaysian singer-songwriters don't get their material played on the airwaves, right?
Yes, but nowadays the thing have been changed a bit. We can still hear a lot of good songs, local made songs in the radio.
Right.
It's not like last time. There are a lot of,
and also the internet helps a lot, right? And before I let you go, maybe you'd like to thank a few people who've helped you, and maybe you'd like to tell us something about the story and how you'd like all of us collectively to help you promote the movie.
Okay, first of all, to thank me in a very first place, I need to thank Mr. S.D. Punendran, the director of Maravan, because a lot of technicians that's working in the movie Patthiyaa have been directly trained by him. That is a very good thing, because that is really promising that some existing what we call the celebrities, they are really willing to help the newcomers. And secondly, I need to thank all my crew members, my director Ravindran, assistant director Umesh, my cameraman Chandran, and my editor Irwin, and plus all the actor and actress, Joffrey, Mohan, Darshini, and all the supporting actor and actress. And also I need to thank Mr. Ratnasamy, who is also helping us with all the production costs.
Okay, so now we can't watch this movie on the silver screen, simply because it's not going to be featured in cineplexes. So how do we support this movie?
Okay, to support this movie, yes, of course, you can go to YouTube. We have uploaded it, we have released it in YouTube in the name of Patthiyaa. So whoever never watched that movie, please go and watch this movie. Give your comment, give your critics, so we can improve ourselves in the future, as well as we can be what we call a bit motivated more in the future.
So we're going to take a short break. Don't forget to go to YouTube and check out the movie. It's about 20 to 25 minutes. It's called Patthiyaa, P-A-A-T-H-I-Y-A, and I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. Put a comment there, like it, whatever. We're going to take a short break and come back with the cinematographer of Patthiyaa. I'll be speaking to Chandran Ponnaiah. He'll be joining us shortly right here on Monday's edition of BERNAMA Today. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies, and welcome back to BERNAMA Today. Of course, in our last segment, we still talk about the movie Patthiyaa, which is, did you see it or did you watch it? Well, it is currently online on YouTube. It's a 20 to 25 minute long short film. It is being promoted to promote the skills and the talents of these group of people who got together. We just spoke to Akilan, the producer. He's a writer. He came up with the whole narrative. He came up with the jokes and also putting the crew together. Now we have Chandran Ponnaiah with us. He's the cinematographer. Thank you very much for joining us, Chandran. It's good to have you here. Congratulations, firstly, for a job well done. Now, I just asked Akilan the same question. What have people been telling you in terms of cinematography for the movie?
So far, I receive a lot of comments from my friends and the people who watched the movie, and then they said the cinematography is good work.
Cinematography. What were your challenges within the movie as a cinematographer? I'm sure you came up with challenges. You were faced by a lot of different problems. One of them being lighting. We just found that out. Now, as a cinematographer, lighting is very important to you.
Actually, the lighting is very, very important for the cinematography. And then, due to low budget, actually this is a low budget movie, and then we can't afford a lot of lighting equipment. So that's why we used mostly natural lighting for that film. I think it maybe in future we will correct the lighting part.
Now, how long did it take for you to shoot the whole movie?
It takes
it's a 25-minute long movie.
We work for 5 days for the shoot, and then we day and night.
5 days? It's day and night work, back-breaking work.
It's actually it's the time is very packed. We need to shoot a lot, but we have a limited time for that.
So they needed to go out and shoot in 5 days. So you always have a timeline for this. If it's 5 days, you have to be done in 5 days, because pre-production would have determined that you need to finish it in 5 days. And then comes the other work, which is the editing and putting things together. Now, when you edit, did you have to go back and shoot some scenes?
I didn't edit.
You didn't edit. I'm sure someone else did it. But did you have to go back and shoot certain scenes because it was not?
Actually, yes. We did when we put back in editing, and then we found some fault shots, and then we need to reshoot back the scene. So that's why we at least spend 1 day to reshoot the movie.
So now they say that Patthiyaa is a movie that makes people laugh. Did it make you laugh? Do you laugh
yes,
when you
initially when we discussed the story, I was a bit I was thinking whether this can make laugh. And then when we premiere it in a hall, and then it makes people laugh.
It made people laugh?
Yes.
Right. And when they did the jokes, being a cinematographer, while the jokes, you were filming the jokes, the most important part, the climax, and also all the punchline for the jokes, did you have to do a few takes for that?
Yes, of course. So we all newcomers, and then we are beginners for this industry, and then we did a reshoot for the climax scenes of it.
Right. It is said in my notes here that you try to add cinematic value to the footage by using a stabilizer and slider. What's that mean?
Actually, usually for the short films, mostly people use static shots, and then just static shots. And then for this film, we did use stabilizers to add cinematic value. So we actually try to make it is future film,
like a future film.
Yes.
Now, to make Tamil movies, things are changing. Even within India, within Tamil Nadu, within Chennai, things are changing. There's a rising middle class that's they want to see a bit more reality, they want to see a bit more logic in the movies. You know, I mean, back in the day they used to say that the movies were not logical, were all very fantastical, simply because people had hard lives and they wanted to watch something to get away from all the problems. Now this is changing within India. Do you think we are at a point where we can compete with India?
Yes, of course.
Or we don't need to compete with India. We've got our own scene. But do you think our movies can be on par with theirs?
Yes, we can be on par with that international films. We already have a few films that for me, I myself, I think this international level.
Okay, what would be
it would be Maravan,
okay,
and then Jagat. So when I watched that film, it's really international film for my field.
So for now, we've got two accolades, Maravan and Jagat, which is internationally acclaimed, and a lot of people look at it and say, wow, Malaysian Tamil movie doing amazing. Now for you guys to get to that level,
maybe it will take times, and then we will do our best.
So this is your first time out as a cinematographer?
Yes, for the short film, I'm doing this first time.
This is the first time?
Yes.
Now, is this enough experience for you to come up with a full-length movie?
No. Actually, we have to learn a lot. A lot of things we need to learn a lot. So previously, what I do, I did a lot of research in the internet, watch YouTube videos, tutorials. So based on that, we apply that in our short film.
Right, but it's so nothing like being there in the flesh, on the ground, doing it and making the mistakes and understanding why you're making those mistakes.
Even in our short film, we did a lot of mistakes.
Right.
So in future, we will correct it.
Right. Apparently, we have the climax scene of this movie, which we're going to roll. I don't know if we can roll it now. So we're going to take a look at the climax scene and maybe chat a little bit more. So with regards to the climax scene, here it is.
எனக்கு ஒரு 5 minutes டைம் கொடுக்கறீங்களா?
Definitely. ஆமா எதுக்கு?
ஏன்னா நான் என் ஹஸ்பண்ட் கேட்டு சொல்லணும்.
ஷவா நான் கூட உங்க அப்பாட்ட கேட்டு சொல்ல போறாங்கன்னு நினைச்சேன். ஹஸ்பண்டா?
என்னங்க ஓகேவா? அதெல்லாம் ஓடி ரொம்ப நேரம் ஆச்சு.
தெரிக்க விடலாமா?
தெரி பேபி.
So that was it. That is apparently the climax scene of this movie, Patthiyaa.
Yes.
Now the climax scene talks about this guy who thinks he's been pranking his friend and using his friend was of course laid one by the girl. So she kind of played his trick back on him.
Yes.
And with that climax scene, which was clearly done in Seremban, because I come from Seremban, so that was done at Lake Gardens in Seremban. Now that climax scene, how many times did you shoot that?
Actually, the climax scene
to get that, she telling him off, I picked the other guy and not you, and to get that thing going, or the aura and the feel you wanted in it. How long did it take to do that, or how many shoots did it take?
It takes half day.
Half a day to do just that small scene.
Yes, we need to reshoot again,
right?
Because of the frame rate issues. So half day, and then around 1 day we shoot this climax scene.
Right. So now, as you're making your way into the world of movies as a cinematographer, and we've got a couple of minutes left. What's your advice to all of us who we want to take a small family movie? Do everyone has a camera and everyone wants to do something now. What's your advice to us?
Actually, I'm also as a beginner.
Yeah, but you've learned a lot.
Yes,
You've come up with
I learned
a
lot from the internets, all those kind of things. But in terms, we need to go further. We need to step into feature films. We work as an assistant cameraman, that kind of things. For the people out there, like youngsters, maybe they can need to learn a lot. And then they must have interest first.
Right.
So when we do something without interest, that is nothing.
Doesn't it scare you that when you listen to people talk, people work within the industry, say it's a very tough industry. Sometimes you don't even make money. You need to be very, very passionate about it.
Yes.
Doesn't it scare you?
That's actually true. But when you have interest, you don't care about this money.
And to all the people who have supported you with this project, and to people who haven't watched the movie, what's your message to them?
Actually, I need to thank my
all the names are not coming now,
SD Ponendran. So even the team, we meet up in the during the filmmaking workshop.
So Ponendran had a workshop and you were there.
Yes. So I was in that workshop with Ravindran, director of this film, and then with Shashvi all. So that was 2014. So that is the starting point until today.
Right. So the starting point until today. Don't forget to check it out on YouTube. It's called Patthiyaa. It's a short film by Akilan, and Chandran Ponaya is the cinematographer of the movie. It's all a bunch of amateurs that got together, learned a bit of filmmaking, and went out there and did their thing. With that, we'd like to thank you, and please go watch the movie Patthiyaa on YouTube. Support the movie, support the guys within the local scene trying to bring the scene up to the next level. Thank you very much, Chandra. It was a pleasure speaking to you, and thank you for joining us on Monday's edition of BERNAMA Today. Of course, we've got news updates coming up throughout the day. On behalf of our team right here at BERNAMA Today, I'm Jared Ratnam signing off. You have a great day ahead, my friend.